that one of the ways that I feel closest to the Lord is through music. But not having the musical ability, not that I think I do, but I'm growing in it.
She does.
Jay's teaching me that there's something there. So we're in the baby step process. But what I want to say is, and this is what I told him before we even started recording, is when you take pen to a paper and you express it in poetry, and then you have someone as talented as Jay and transform it into melody. The moment he turned my words into keys and started playing Savior, I started bawling. And I want to make sure that we include that specific snippet because I was recording him while he was playing my poem for the first time on the keyboard in the backyard. And I couldn't stop crying.
My hair looked...
I can't say I'm not the one who made it, and he's the only one who could make you change. I can't say I'm not the one who made it, and he's the only one who could make you change.
terrible, so that was also a reason why she was crying as well. But it looks better now.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
And he just kept playing and playing and playing. And I really couldn't compose myself. And after you finished the song, we hugged. We hugged for like probably 2 minutes. Like I didn't want to let you go because it was like, oh my gosh, somebody understands what this song is really about. Like you have that innate ability to feel the writer out and evoke that same emotion that I was expressing through that paper in that moment. And I was just so grateful for him because he knew right away, like he got it. It didn't take after take, rehearsal after rehearsal. And it was magical. I knew that God was in the atmosphere in that moment when we started our first song together. And when you hugged me, you're like, it's okay, it's okay. And then you were with me in the moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do more of this.
Absolutely. That's what it's really about, like whether it be with the music or with the ministry at large. Like I feel like a cornerstone of Mindshift Thrive and everything that you're doing is like empathy. And that's really like, that's what I use if I'm working with someone else who wants me to convey a specific message or dive into like a certain place, a certain topic, or a certain emotion. You really have to like look at yourself and be like, okay, what is something that I've experienced that, mirrors this almost. And that's what's needed, like for everyone, especially with victims of domestic abuse and domestic violence and other things like that. It's really about not only showing victims that have experienced that there are people out there that know how they feel and are healing just like them.
Right.
But it's also about showing people that may not be in that place and may be on the way to being perpetrators or have been perpetrators and showing them like how valuable empathy is and showing it to everyone around them and even to themselves.
And how it's affecting the victim or the survivor.
Absolutely.
Like as a survivor, I knew I had to put my thoughts and my heart, I had to pour it into my words, into my poems.
Absolutely.
But just taking it into making an album was like at another level. I knew it had to take something bigger than myself. I had to collaborate with talent. I had to collaborate with somebody like you that is also like, you understand because you were raised as a believer, like you understand what I'm talking about
Absolutely.
too. That was important for me, not to say that a non-believer can be used abundantly, because God uses anybody he wants at any given time.
Right.
But he just happened to put you in my space. And I was so excited in that moment that it's like, okay, when, like that moment when we finished, I'm like, all right, can you like check your calendar?
Yeah.
Because we gotta move.
No, absolutely, absolutely. No, it's funny that you say that, because honestly, during that time, I was in a place where my faith was wavering a lot more than anything. And I feel like being around you and being around the rest of the team, it's really restored a lot of my faith, you know? And everything we're working on and why we're doing it and who we're doing it for, not just for the people, but for the Lord as well. It's healed me in a lot more ways than I could say. We wouldn't have time.
Writing music. We finished the album, y'all, in a week. Like
Yeah.
at least step one, we laid the foundation. And how was that
Absolutely.
experience for you?
It was seamless. It was just seamless. Like, just the process of, it was like a well-oiled machine, but it didn't feel so robotic in that sense. Like, you would write out a poem, or you would have a poem, you'd show me that, I'd get on the piano, I'd play whatever, we would go back and forth between what works and what doesn't, and then we'd make like a rough draft that we could maybe give to an artist, or that I could record, or whatever. But that process was just so fun, just like, and it's one of my favorite parts of creating too, just like exploring what works and what doesn't, and just, I don't know, just finding like the best sound for the words themselves and the music itself and the message that you're trying to evoke, and how to translate that into music and composition. Like, I love that. That's always my favorite part, and has been my favorite part of music thus far. So, and it was really a joy to do that with you as well, and to have you like kind of just guiding each other, just bouncing off one another.
Yeah.
Like you said, the chemistry, it's very, very hard to find that.
Survivors, Rossana again with Mindshift Thrive Global Ministries. I'm not sure if you know what the power of creative healing does to your soul, to your spirit, to your mind, when you find a positive outlet of something that you just love to do. For example, listening to your favorite artists. Have a playlist where you particularly curate the best songs that lift you up. Take 5 to 10 minutes and carve out time to find those specific songs, because it's going to take you a little bit. You're going to have to be like, okay, what's that one that I groove to? What's that one that just makes me soar above the mountains and I'm like soaring like an eagle? Whatever it is, come up with that playlist where there is no one that's going to tell you anything and no one is interrupting your vibe. And you're gonna press that on play, and it's gonna be on repeat, and you're gonna be in the shower, you're gonna be getting dressed, you're gonna be in the car, you're gonna be in the kitchen, wherever you're at. Music is a motivator, and that adds positivity. Your spirit becomes alive. You're creating endorphins. The good hormones are being produced inside your brain. Your attitude, your mood changes. So the more you're bringing music, art, drawing, painting, sculpting, building, writing, journaling, anything that you find that is your go-to, arts and crafts, or gardening, whatever you can think of. I mean, there's a plethora of things that are artistic. Why? Because art just adds something to the imagination and creativity that nothing else can, no other discipline can. Science is cool. You can add science to arts if that's your thing. Why not? Who am I to tell you any different? That's not mine. I'm more of an artsy girl. I love colors, but there can be a lot of science and colors too combined. Maybe you can tell me something about science and music mixed in with math and all the other like the stems, right? That is your healing go-to. So the more you know yourself, the more you can tap into something creative that will help you continue to heal in your journey after domestic violence. So that's a little tidbit for today. My name is Rossana with Mindshift Thrive Global Ministries. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.